I mean, so I'm learning that a strong black woman is not for my money. I'm learning that she is more committed to the relationship and the components that make up a good relationship.
And so in the case of 6-year-old Blue Watermelon, Ralph Angel, I'm saying you are not the father. Hi everybody, this is The Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ron.
And today, like you already know, we are here to talk about power.
You already know. You already know what it's about. Can't wait to get into it because it's chock full of nuts. By the way, we have two of our most, let's say, most highly represented responders on today. We're bringing them in live with you, so you'll be able to talk. Well, you'll be able to respond to them as you normally do. But we do have the pleasure of having Reed and Elena on with us. Could you all say hello to the crowd?
Hello.
What's up? Chat saying, what it do?
Hey.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
Louisiana where the last one burned you. Know that ain't cool. Wanna show you how I'm nothing like him. Swear that's the truth. So you can't trust that
All right, we're back, and like I was saying, we are talking about episode 509, and this one was titled "There's a Snitch Among Us."
Whoa.
And there was definitely some snitching going on this episode.
You know what happens to snitches?
Snitches get stitches.
Well, he got more than stitches.
Right.
He got about 4 bullets to the chest.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy is the whole reason we're here. Like, let's just cut to the chase. This episode was so centered around him, so I think it's only right we start with Tommy.
Let's do that.
First of all, Tommy, this episode, I kind of felt so bad for him, man. But I mean, can anybody say they didn't see this coming?
Anybody but Tommy. I mean, my whole point with Tommy is, come on, Tommy, you got to man up. If you had done that in the very beginning, I think you would have smelled a rat. And I know you want a dad. Dads are important to sons. But this wasn't a dad. This man had a 25-year stay, and all of a sudden he's out, and you're pretending like, oh, it's Christmas. No, man, it's not. It's Halloween.
Yeah, and so their issue with the snitch first came up because of this guy Joey. He's their driver to get their drugs into the jails, and apparently they just got randomly singled out for some reason, and so they're thinking there's a snitch. And Sammy suspects it's Tommy, Tommy suspects it's Sammy, and they just going back and forth. Teresa's kind of acting like the middleman in between them, as always.
Getting deeper and deeper in crap. So, but this is what happens when you try to play both ends, which is why you see I don't try to play these two women both, but at the same time, because it wouldn't be a good look for me.
Look, you got 3 women today.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, what do you think about the show? What do you think about
it? First.
I would say, well, you mean in regards to the whole Tommy situation?
Yes.
So, I really wanted to give him a hug. He really just was taking L's left and right, and it was hard. But initially, Tommy was suspicious of Teresa at first, but then more and more they got closer, and by the time they started really, feeling like the father and son type thing going on, it was too late.
Yep.
So, everybody predicted Teresa was going to go down. We all saw that coming, and we all predicted that Tommy would be the one to finally to have to put him down.
Yeah.
But, so that's kind of how I feel about that whole situation. It is, that had to play out the way it did.
Right. And I kind of knew it was over for Teresi when he started telling that story behind Holly's ring and how he had to take her out.
Yeah,
I was like,
Oh, you know what?
Let me hear from Reed. What do you think, Reed?
I mean, my boy Tommy, I love him to death, but he had to go through this in particular transition because he was getting too far away from, and we'll probably have a chance to talk about this, but he's getting too far away from the game. Tommy is just not built for certain things, and that's where Ghost comes in. And I know you guys were talking last week about can they repair their friendship, and this is, for me, the point where he's going to be like, okay, there's only one person who's always had my back, and that's Ghost.
You know what? We were talking shortly before we started the show, and what I commented with is one of the problems that I think is that Tommy and Ghost, they both want to lead. And as I said, you can't have two heads on a donkey. Somebody's got to be the ass. So, you know, and I think that's what we see with Tommy. Tommy is trying to grow up and put on the big boy pants, while even though Ghost wants out, but his whole nature is to take the lead. And I think that's one of the problems that everybody has with Ghost to begin with, is because to do that, sometimes you have to be selfish, because in the game that they're in, you know, there are no overdues.
Yeah, I mean, but he might have it honest, because you seen the way Sammy kept pressing Teresi out. Like, you gotta give him up to the feds, and Teresi couldn't do it. That soft spot. I think that Tommy and Teresi are alike in that way, that they have an emotional side and they let that get in the way of taking care of business.
It's possible.
And that's why Sammy ended up getting hemmed up, stabbed up.
But they both had ruthless sides too, because Sammy was his friend for more than 25 years,
Yeah.
and he took Sammy out.
Yeah.
So, he definitely has a selfish side too. Like, okay, he's about to rat me out. He got to go.
Yeah.
Well, Sammy should have known when Teresi put that gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. You're not saying that you're going to put that gun to my head after 25 years. It's a wrap.
It's a
Yeah,
exactly.
No business together. That's done.
my lady. That's what I'm talking about. It would have been done and over. I mean, he wouldn't have. No, you could. What could you say to me if that gun was loaded? I'd be dead.
Exactly. Yep. And I don't know why. I think that's Sammy's own foolishness for going back into that relationship, because you showed me who you are already.
If somebody shows you who they are,
Believe
You
them.
believe
I say that all the time. Exactly. I
much.
say that all the time.
thank you much. That's why I looked at Tiffany, because she's always.
I always say that.
saying
Whoever, once you show me who you are, I believe you.
See, I'm giving her props today. Y'all see that? I was giving her props. She's always
As you
saying
should.
that.
As you should.
So right now,
I said I was getting.
We gonna get to that, man. We gonna get to that.
That's all right, Reed. I'm ready for you too. I know you're on the back run up.
No,
I'm ready for you.
But Reed, you know, we're men and we see things a little differently than these ladies, and rightfully so. Not to say that what their vision is in 2020, you know, it is. I mean, on some things, it's just they want to get their emotions involved, and you know, we tend to separate that.
That was a real sexist comment.
Ron.
Yeah.
You showing us?
Tommy definitely got his emotions involved in the situation.
Exactly.
And you see
Thank-
what happens
thank you.
when Tommy gets too emotionally attached. You see what happens around him. You saw
Exactly.
what happened to Holly. You see what he had to end up doing to Teresi. So, if anything, at this point now he's. I don't know what's going to happen with him and Keisha, how that's going to go. But he can't get emotionally involved with anybody if he's going to keep moving forward in this game, which we can talk about a little later whether or not that's going to continue on. But that's just how I feel about the emotional side for both men and women.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
But again, and that's something I've been saying all along. You're in y'all are drug dealers. There is no room for this high level emotional swing, because once you do that, people get killed, you get killed. It's just really that simple. So, you know, whether I'm not really being sexist, and I don't want anybody to write me up and talk about how sexist I
Write
am,
'em.
because I know it's going to happen. And I'm not being sexist for real. It's just on the tip. Hey, this is not the kind of game that you can afford to be emotional.
I mean, yeah, and that.
Yeah.
I mean, we Helena briefly mentioned Keisha, and Tommy and Keisha had a moment in this
Yeah.
episode too, where Tommy was like, "Look, this ain't gonna be the first time or the last time you gonna have to lie."
And Keisha
So-
said the right thing to keep her behind on this earth.
Right, because at first she was like, "Well, I don't know if I could do that again because Tasha didn't give me a choice. But if it's my choice, then I don't. Maybe."
Right thing to
So-
say.
But
But she
Right
said,
thing
well,
to
you're
say.
just moving weight, right? She was like, you're not killing nobody. I was like, oh my goodness.
She don't even know
She
the
don't
half
even know.
of it.
She don't know what she's dealing with.
Hold on.
And
This
I
is it.
all the way understand how you gonna sit there and you dealing with a drug dealer. Your friends are drug dealers, and you ask him a dumb question about whether or not he done kill some. Please.
See,
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
but see, this is what I'm talking about. You're exhibiting the kind of analytical thinking that is required when you're in this type of situation. What is Tasha doing?
Keisha, she's very naive.
Keisha, what is she doing? I mean, you can't even be that naive. You're just stupid.
But she said, I'm not built for this. Go ahead, Reed.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is what I'm saying about that, and this goes to my point of why I think Tiffany and I kind of butt heads and have that thinking. The rules are different in the street, and I think that a lot of where we butt heads is because you're applying just the regular life rules.
Thank you.
We're talking about street rules here.
Thank you.
So that's where the big thing comes in.
What does Ron know about the street?
I grew up in the street.
And she's just not, she ain't built for it. She can get to that point, but it's going to take a lot to get her to the street rules point.
Yeah, Keisha would have to be completely correct.
I know you're talking about Keisha, but where you and I were butting heads was about the Tasha and Ghost thing. I agree with you
But
about
yeah,
Keisha.
they're just saying. I mean, this whole show is about mixing your regular logic with your street logic, and it's so easy for you to fall in love with the character and cloud your judgment.
Right.
And that's a perfect way of looking at it. It is. It's a mixture of common sense and street sense. And you know what? They're not on the same bus.
Yeah, at all. And before we get too far away from Tommy discussion, I thought it was really sweet of him to let Tariq see Connie before he killed him. I know you're gonna take this man out, but for Connie to get her closure.
Yeah, that's what he said. I ain't do it for you. He did it for her.
Yeah,
and also Tracy knew. He knew
when he looked up at that exit sign.
When he was communicating. When he was communicating with her, he knew that was a wrap.
Yep. And I don't know. I kind of felt bad for Teresi too, because he really wasn't go snitching, and he had a change of heart.
I think he had feelings for Tommy.
But here's my thing with Teresi, and again I think it's that what we all have been saying, that emotional swing, because at some point Teresi knew that things were getting a little too hot and a little too close for him. If I were Teresi, I would have gone to him and said, "Look, I was supposed to set you up. I've been I wouldn't call myself a snitch. That word just doesn't fit. Particularly with Tommy. But I would have said, I got out because they wanted me to set you up. But having spent the time with you and get to know you, you are my son, and I couldn't do it. I cannot do it. So if I got to go back to jail to keep you out, hey, that's what I'm about to do. But I think." He played it too long, and that's how he, his untimely demise by the hands of his son. Yeah. Because he didn't know how to play that at that particular time.
He should have done what Proctor did.
Yeah,
exactly. Proctor knew who he was up against.
Exactly.
And Proctor said, "I'm not going out like that."
He said, "I'm going to warn him."
Exactly. And his smart thing.
But Proctor only did that because Ghost, mentioned the word family, and Ghost. In that conference, before they started the conference, the questions, Goat had started saying, what, man, you got my side. He was saying all the things that Proctor wanted him to say the previous episode.
Right.
But once Ghost mentioned family, and then Proctor just looked at him like, oh, and then that's when he took the napkin out and, and said, wrote down that I'm wearing wire. Because up to that point, the Ghost had still had that same type of attitude that he had in the previous episode. I don't think Proctor would have warned him.
I agree with you.
I agree too.
I agree with her.
I agree.
I don't think so, because I think the whole thing is about the family. I mean, they all have this nucleus, and it's always been the family. Proctor knew very well that he was a part of Ghost's family.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Last episode, he was complaining to his cousin.
Yep.
He said to he said to his cousin, he said, "I think he would choose his girl over me." He said, "I like them."
And guess what? And Tommy feels the same way.
Right, but he did not.
Well.
But he was not feeling valued at that moment in that last episode.
Neither was Tommy,
and so Ghost,
I
agree with Helena that basically when Ghost was speaking the way he was, that swayed him too, and said, "Okay, let me let him know. Let me put him on the game."
I like to think that he's a little more streetwise than we want to give him credit.
He is streetwise.
It may very well be. Who knows? But I think he would have done that anyway, because I think he has a genuine like for.
He said that. He said that last episode.
Yeah,
he liked them both.
He said he liked them both.
But here's the thing about Proctor, and in all my comments I've said they need to take better care of him.
I agree with you.
Right. Proctor has been down for them through whatever. And no matter what, you have to remember, and we haven't seen a lot of it, Proctor is a mob kid.
Exactly.
For him, when he was like, we're family, that just took him back to his, his younger age, running around with his cousin, being family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Proctor is the key that Tommy needs to understand, and Ghost needs to understand. This is the cat that's really rocking with y'all.
For real.
I agree with that 100%.
Excellent point.
But did y'all catch what Proctor said to him too about Angie?
Yes, indeed.
Ghost has some decisions to
To
make.
make.
I think the season finale, this is an early prediction for me, but I feel like Ghost might have to take Angie out.
Well, she has to go now because you see where she is. She's between a rock and a hard place, and I'm not sure which is going to win because right now they're on her. They got her iced, so they're right on her. She's going to have to give up something.
Right.
And right now they want her to give up Ghost, the whole cartel basically, but because they're asking her, what do you know? So she's going to have to give up something, and she has less than 24 hours to do so. And with her in that room with everybody, it seems like she's ready to roll. I can't see her outliving episode 10.
I don't know. That's a tough call to make.
I don't think she's going to live. I think that she's going to attempt to. I think she's going to try to save James, or Jamie as she calls him.
Right.
But I don't think she's going to make it. I don't know who's going to take her out. It could be Ghost, or it could be, now let's not forget, it could be that little knucklehead that's running around there, Tariq.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It could
my
be.
goodness. But that's who I think, if anything, if she gets taken out, it would either be Ghost or Tariq that would do it.
Or it could be Tommy. Tommy hates her.
Yeah, everybody hates her at this point.
Tommy hates her. If he finds out, Ghost is not going to tell him. Because if Ghost tells him, she is good as dead. Tommy would not have a problem taking her out.
Yeah, I think the only real thing Angie has going for her right now is that they don't have any concrete evidence on her. They don't have anything that can directly tie her. They have these theories.
They got the fact that they told Teresa. They told her about
Teresi. Yes.
Teresi. And then I don't know if it was a day late or hours late. Teresi winds up dead.
Right.
You can't get any more.
But that's still circumstantial. You don't have anything.
But you can go to jail on circumstances.
You can. This is a conspiracy.
Right.
It is for
exactly.
He was a federal informant, and also this is the second time an informant has gotten killed because of Angela.
Exactly.
Because at first it was Nomar. What, season 1?
Nomar, season 1.
Right.
And then Sandoval, Sandoval, nobody else knew that Sandoval was in federal protection and stuff. So
that's 3.
The walls are closing in on Angela.
Yeah, she's got a lot of blood on her hands.
Ooh, Angie, yeah.
I take a different tack, and I know I'm about to ruffle some feathers with this one, but I think this next episode is going to show why she is Ghost's ride or die, because...
she's going to stand up for Ghost.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to roll over on Ghost. I agree with you on that.
No, she's not going to roll on Ghost, but what we're about to see is you have to understand that they've been developing all of these characters. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody says, Angie is a gangster, and Tommy saw that. So what I'm thinking and what I'm hoping is the way that Angela is about to unleash her gangster, and she's going to have to team up with Ghost, and they're going to make an amazing team. That's my prediction for how that's going to play out.
Okay. Now she might, because she already told Tommy before that Mock needed to go. So I'm wondering
she's got to give up somebody.
One of them is going to get taken out.
She has to give up somebody.
And she's already colluded with Tasha last week to take out Kanan. Angie's on the path.
Yes.
So she's already in it. Like I was saying before, I think her only saving grace might be the fact that Sax and Mock have been doing equally as much stuff off the books as she has, and that could potentially tie them up too, and make it look like they have a vendetta against her. So that
and that's why I was saying Proctor is the key, because if Proctor is involved and they all are family and they all trust each other, which Lord Jesus, if they would have done that a long time ago, they'd be good. If they just trust each other, Proctor and Angie can knock out any of the legal stuff, and then Ghost and Tommy are there for the bully.
But here's the problem: if Sax and Mock tell Ghost, or it gets back to Ghost that Proctor was the one that put Angela's name out there in the first place and said she's the one that's been helping them. Ghost is gonna have an issue with Proctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you notice that Ghost is not feeling Angie a little bit.
Oh, he's
He
mad. He's
walking-
mad at her.
Yeah,
She put her son, his son in harm's way.
Right.
Yeah.
And he kind of, so this is an interesting aspect of the show because I don't think we've ever seen Ghost that mad at
Yeah.
Angie.
He was mad at her, but he still ain't talked to her crazy the way he talked to Tasha.
Yeah.
Like he went off on Angie, but he still did not talk to her in the same vein he talks to Tasha. He comes to Tasha crazy.
You just
Yeah,
won't
even
get that
Tommy had to check him about coming to Tasha. Like
Yeah, he got slapped. He got the hands
but
literally, and he deserved it.
But at the beginning of the episode, Tasha's taking heat from both Tommy and Ghost.
I mean, because she
And
was
she
wrong.
deserved it. She deserved
wrong.
it.
Most deaf. And so
She deserved it, but when that comment he made about, oh, you want another dead kid,
That was
when
too
she
far.
slapped, that was too far,
yeah.
and she deserved to slap the crap out of him.
well,
He wasn't wrong, but he could have
He
been more
wasn't
tactful.
wrong.
He
in the
could have been more.
situation.
He could have been.
Yeah.
because as he said, that could have played out any kind of way. They got lucky in that. I mean,
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
She was
absolutely.
wrong. She was wrong. That's why we put her on the hands list last week.
Exactly.
She was wrong for putting their kid in harm's way.
I think she should be on the hands list for 2 weeks.
You know what? Tariq
Well, you-
should be on the
when
hands
you-
list.
when you-
'Cause first of all, Tariq was talking
Oh, we
crazy
haven't
about
even-
it.
we
I
haven't
don't even
gotten to
know
Tariq yet.
how Tariq got away.
Yeah, let's
With Ghost, but like talking crazy to
Oh,
Ghost like
I'm
that. I
telling
was
you.
waiting for Ghost to just yoke him up.
teeth would have been flying and they would not have been mine. I mean to tell you, they I don't even know how Ghost. It's amazing.
He was cussing in his
was-
face. He
right.
got like right in Ghost's grill.
Oh man.
He's disrespectful. Very, and Tommy actually made mention of it a little bit later on. He was like, if he was my son, and goes like, but he ain't.
But that's the problem. Tariq need his jaw broke for one time. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, the parents are blaming each other,
Right.
constantly thinking about, who is at fault regarding the whole Tariq mess. Nobody, maybe Tasha a little bit had that conversation, but this young man is angry and to the point like he's now in the making of becoming the next drug lord.
Yep.
He is angry and nobody talking to him about what he's dealing with, how he's addressed. Nobody is saying anything. This
Right.
boy is sitting up in their penthouse with $1 million worth of drugs. They don't even know it. And they're drug lords themselves. They spend this, and the only thing that those can come up with is, okay, well, we got to go back to school.
Right.
What?
Yep.
I don't understand how they are just ignoring this boy so much. To me, it looks like neglect because they're not
Yep.
addressing him at all.
Yeah.
They're going to send him back over to the private school so he can go sell some more drugs. I don't understand that. That's problematic to me.
But did you hear what Ghost said to him too? Like, I know we had a theory that at the end of this show that Tariq would be the one to take Ghost out. But Ghost said, I'd rather kill you myself than let you into this game.
But I felt that.
So I said,
I felt
I feel that, but
So
I think Tariq might take that the other way. Like, maybe
Right.
I gotta get you before you get me.
so I was
'Cause I'm
like,
in this-
I don't know.
That was Ghost's biggest mistake. right
Yep.
there.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, what he's saying basically is as dangerous and as volatile and dangerous as this drug thing is. Before I see you to become another kingpin, I'd rather see you dead. And that's some hard love. It's some hard talk to a kid who has all but made up his mind that this is where he wants to go. So I don't know if you could have said anything else that would have reached him as those few words did.
However, if you look at the history of what has happened with Tariq, he has already found out that somebody close to him, Kanan, took out his own son. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched for Ghost to try to take him out.
right.
If it came to it. Because
Right.
he's already seen a father kill their son.
Right.
That's a stretch.
No,
but
I don't
think
I'll
it's a
let it out
stretch.
there.
I don't
I don't
It's a
think it's
stretch.
too far-fetched. And especially with the way Tariq is feeling, he was like, he already mentioned to them, I took this loss with Kanan so that y'all could win. And he's, like I was saying, he's resentful about that. And even when he went and got his little fake ID and picked up Kanan's ashes, like you could tell he was so invested in
that
that bond.
But you saw
and
how-
then to teach me the game, Ghost, he's basically saying, be to me what Kanan was.
And you saw how he had absolutely no remorse at all over the fact that 4 police officers are dead because of him. And it didn't affect him one bit. So as a father, and you're seeing all that, because you would think that might have hit home with him, but it didn't. It just rolled right off his back. And so as a father, when you see that and the number of deaths that are associated with him, I don't know what else you can do but threaten him in the manner that
I don't think
Ghost
you
did.
threaten him. I think you got to pull him in closer. Like Kanan was saying, you don't need to have him off at school somewhere unsupervised. He needs to be under your arm every chance you get him.
There's two things you're going to do with him. You're either going to take care of him, and that is, and here's the thing, if he's so hell-bent on being a kingpin, then why not learn from the best, his father? Because if his father doesn't teach him, he's going to learn in the streets, and by doing so, he can be killed. So his father's got a lot of thinking to do, because
his father already told him he's not going to do it.
Well, I know he said that, but the point is, you got to look at it on the other scale. The other scale being, if I don't do it and teach him the right way, who's going to teach him?
Vincent.
And Vincent doesn't give a damn about it.
Exactly.
Right.
And I don't think Tariq know what he up against.
And he has
Vincent.
no idea. He has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, that was not smart at all. But it's Tariq, so.
Well, I had a theory on that.
Go ahead.
Now, for me, I was Tariq when I was little. I was that, rich kid that had, the cousins and everything. So what Tariq is going through right now is just growing up. And Tariq is going to be a gangster. That's just it. And, everybody saw that in him except for Ghost, because Ghost is so stuck on this good life. And that's ultimately what's going to get Ghost knocked off, is his wanting for that. But something that I caught was when Ghost came in and he talked to Vincent. Vincent, had to talk to him, but he also knew he was Ghost.
He sure did.
Yep.
TV. So that means he knew who Tariq was. So Vincent knows that that's his son coming in there talking Italian, all of that other stuff. Then you got his pops coming in trying to make a little deal. That's going to be a big thing for season, 7?
6.
Season 6.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines as you. I thought that perhaps Vincent might be the one to reveal that Tariq has gotten in business with him to Ghost, or Tommy could find out indirectly, because now that Teresi's out the way and Vincent has made an agreement with Tommy to do business with him again, maybe Tommy will catch Tariq up in there one day.
Well, he has to, because remember now that what's on the table is Tariq, running drugs for Vincent. He said he'll give him this one-time shot and let's see where it goes. So let's say he does well with it.
Yeah.
Listen, when I saw
run into him, I think because Tommy's gonna, based on what Vincent was saying to Tommy, after Tommy, make that kill to kill Teresi, I think that Tommy's gonna get back doing business with Vincent, what's his name, the Italian guy. But he'll catch, because this boy's out in the streets now. He's gonna catch. I think he's gonna be the one that's gonna catch Tariq, and probably well, I don't know if he's going to straighten him out, but he's going to find out, because Tariq he's going to try to do what Kanan was in there doing. That was take over Tommy's territory.
You think so?
I think that's what I think he's going. That's where the problem is going to occur with Tommy and Tariq, and I like to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, but you can see still that Tariq still kind of holds Tommy in high regards,
Uncle Tommy,
because he calls him Uncle Tommy, and even though he was cussing up a storm around him, you can see that he still respects Tommy's opinion of him.
And I think he's more afraid of Tommy than he is of his own dad, which rightfully so. And so it really comes down to the point, if anybody can reach him, if he's reachable, it would have to come from Tommy.
I think the same thing.
The thing that got me when Ghost went in there and Vincent called him Ghost, I was like, well, who doesn't know that he's Ghost? At this point, it seems like everybody knows.
Everybody. And the
that
feds,
he's
they
Ghost.
know, but they just don't ever know.
They just don't have proof.
Right.
Everybody knows that he's Ghost.
Yeah. Well, Ghost, that's his only thing. He's been revealed. I mean, that he got to get a new identity. He got to come up with something else because... even Sax and Mock know that he's Ghost at this point
thanks
now.
Thanks to Teresi.
Yeah, thanks to him. Even still with Tariq, I just hope that it doesn't come to the point where he has to end up getting in too deep and over his head, which I can definitely foresee. I can foresee that, and it comes to the point where even though everybody thinks he's gonna be Ghost 2.0, that's kind of the easy conclusion to jump to. But I want this show to be a little less predictable.
Well, Courtney kind of alluded to it by saying that he's been played up to be the next Kingpin. So it's interesting your comment, because I would hate to see it be that translucent, but at the same token, what else are we gonna do with him?
I mean, he could get killed.
Exactly.
Look, at this point, would it be a great show if Tariq turns around and becomes an A student? I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't. But I don't see him doing well in this. Like, he's inexperienced. He thinks more of himself than he's capable of.
Like fatherless.
Exactly. Finally, you admit it.
Yeah, great saying.
I'll admit.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Only to that point, and then I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about Angie and her big win with the feds, getting Alicia.
Now, okay, I'm glad we're here, because this is where I wanted to be. Okay, Dre.
Let's go.
Okay, Dre. Here we go. Dre, you got issues. Alicia has put you as the number 2 guy, so you don't like that, right? We saw in your eyes that you don't like that. So, what are you gonna do? Angie comes to you to tell you to set her up. That was so obvious, man. I mean, I don't even know why he tried to play hard on that. Yeah, I would have set her up. She'd have been out like the light. I mean, come on. She would have been a flicker of a light.
I mean, he
did set her up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He had to think about it first.
But he had to think about it. I would not have thought about it. It wouldn't. I mean, that would have been a perfect.
I mean, it is a major cartel.
I was about to say, he knows who
snitches
he
get
dealing with.
stitches. Like, come on now. She had her own.
Wait.
She approved her own brother getting killed.
Yeah.
This woman is ruthless.
Well,
and matter of
now-
fact, which is why I was
But
surprised
she
about.
thinks Cristobal did it, because you heard what she said when they came crashing the door. She called him an MF.
No, she said that when nobody answered
the
and
phone,
stuff.
right? The phone.
She
hung
said
up.
that first before they crashed the door. So she probably think that
the
afterwards.
phone hung up, and then they crashed the door, and she said MF.
She said that first.
No.
Go back and watch it. She said
No.
Yo,
she said that
Why?
first, and then
you want it. You want it.
Yeah, she said that.
she
afterwards.
said that first, and then they
Why would
crashed
she
the
say
door.
it first? She didn't know who it
because
was.
she didn't know who was on the
Exactly.
phone.
So she didn't do that.
That's why she said it.
No, gosh, Tiff.
I watched it 4 times.
Well,
watch it again, y'all.
3 times,
YouTube read.
3 times. You
YouTube
weren't
read.
looking at
Watch it
anything.
again.
Your eyes were closed. You were in REM sleep. I'm gonna tell you. She went, hello, hello.
She said, and then she said
And
that,
then the phone
they
hung up.
came
The
crashing
phone
in.
hung up, and she
then
went
she
like
said
this.
it.
Phone
Then
up. She
she
looked
said
at
it.
the phone.
Then they crashed it.
Oh my God.
But hold on. Here's the part of it that you have to remember. Dre is the one who set that up.
Yep,
Exactly.
Yep.
Dre would not have set that up if he didn't have another plan in place. That's why he turned around and smiled. So now you got Cristobal coming over to the spot. Y'all getting all freaky deaky. The feds rush in. Now Cristobal doesn't have any defense to himself. Dre can turn around and say, "Hey,
It was Cristobal.
Yep.
Oh, I agree. I agree
And
that it
that's
looks
why
like Cristobal.
that's why I think she said that to Cristobal, because of the fact that right now it's not like they waited 6 hours.
Right.
I mean, it was like he's in there, they about to get busy. Phone rings, hangs up, crashing the door.
Yep.
Yep.
I would have thought Cristobal had
Yeah.
set me.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm not arguing that point. I think that she gonna think Cristobal
exactly.
did it.
She
and
did
stuff.
think that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. When I was just talking about the placement of what she said.
Right.
That's
and I
all.
think Cristobal's biggest mistake is she's already appointed you as her number 1 now. Why are you reporting back to your number 2? Like, whatever is going on between you and Alicia and whatever plans y'all have to meet up, that's private. Dre, you don't answer to him no more. You don't need to report that
Because they
information.
were boys
I know,
first.
but he trying to brag and talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to get some. Like, no, you don't need to reveal the information because look where it got you.
Well, boys will be boys.
Right.
So,
You did tell Cristobal before they even touched each other. She said to him when she was talking about Dre, this is the second time that she's mentioned or was able to read the type of character that Dre is. She said, Dre is. Do you agree with me that Dre is very revengeful? He seems like a revengeful type. She's read Dre beforehand early on when they got into business together. She told Dre, I see the type of person that you are.
You like to work both
You play
sides.
on
Yes.
both sides of the fence. This time around, after the demotion, she tells Cristobal that I think that he's a revengeful person.
Yep.
So that's just all I'm gonna say about that. Was so she knows, or at least she had at that point, even though it was too late, probably figured that Dre was probably behind the whole setup.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I think that might
But
lead
then
her
again,
to that.
I'm gonna tell you something else that was a little weird to me, because Cristobal then mentioned that I think Dre is afraid of you, and she said, as he should be. And then she said, "Are you afraid of me?" And I don't remember exactly what he said.
He said,
but,
"Does it look like I'm afraid?"
which to me says, "No, I'm not."
Right.
And then, and in that regard, wouldn't you be a little skeptical about that? And I'm asking you ladies because I know y'all want to get busy, but wouldn't you want him to be a little afraid of you?
Not in that moment. Not in that moment. No. She was when she said that she was being flirtatious when she said that.
That's
Are you
why I had to
afraid of
ask.
me?
That's why I had to
And he
ask.
was like, no. And he said what he needed to say. Because if he had said yeah, I'd have been like, get up out of here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I had to ask because y'all want the goods just like we do. So
Right.
okay, I'm good
Right.
now. I'm good now. Okay.
Nah. If he had said that, I'd been like,
admitted it. Y'all wanted the goods. And
That's right. I'd be like,
hey,
get the getting.
Hey, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
he don't want to look weak in front of her.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
He said what he needed to say.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I just need to hear it from the ladies. That's all.
My only thing is I want to see where Steve Tampio lies in this because Angie said that he had cleared for them to go back in and arrest Alicia this time and there was no way she was going to get out of this one. But I don't know. I feel like this is not the last we're going to see of Steve Tampio or hear about him.
I don't trust him.
Because I feel like he's still in bed with the Jimenez. I think he is in too deep with them. And somehow Alicia might end up getting out.
But you know
and
what?
she going to be on Angie's. But
This is why I said Angie is too quick. Like, this is a major drug cartel. And I'm like...
she's so quick to celebrate.
And then she's showing her face. She could have authorized that bus without her being physically there. She had to go and gloat and talk trash and stuff. And I was like, this woman's going to have her killed.
Yep.
I think that with Steve, it's getting a little messy. That little cartel's a little messy now because, you know, her brother's dead. All of this, the head in the refrigerator. You know what? There needs to be a whitewashing because you can't have too much stuff going on. And so, yeah, I think she's going down. I don't think anybody's going to save her now because it's just too much a mess. Save her for what? And then she's right back in this mess. This too messy. It's too messy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tiff, though, because Angie, I think she's just so full of herself. She got to get over that, and she's put herself in danger. Not only does everybody hate her, but now she has a major organization knowing who she is and what she did to them. Right. And you think they're not going to want their payback?
Exactly.
Sis, you tripping.
That emotional swing again. So she's all hyped up because the first time she put her away, she got out and Alicia got in her face. And so she was like, I'm going to get that beat back.
Yeah.
See, you know, y'all gotta curb those emotions.
Well, you say that, tell that to your boys. You say that to Tommy. Say that to Ghost.
I said that about Tommy. I said
you
Tommy.
can say it about Ghost too. Because first of all, when he found out that Angie was a fed, Tommy told him in season 2 to take Angie out.
Yep.
Hold on.
Come on.
What? Like that. Nah,
yeah, go ahead, Reed. Go ahead.
No, okay, look. With Ghost, and I've said this from the beginning, Ghost's problem is that he is too loyal in the wrong position.
Ghost is a sucker for love. That's what Ghost's problem
is. He's not a sucker for love, though. He's not a sucker for love. What Ghost is caught up in is what each of these characters have gotten caught up in at some point, and that's living in La La Land, thinking that what's going on in their head can actually happen, and ignoring the realities of what's right before you. Angela still has in her head that she could be the white hat. She could still be good. She's a gangster. It's too late for her, and she has to accept that.
I agree.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, Angela also put Ghost in jail. He almost was on death row behind her. And in this season, you see he back in her face. You know, so don't tell me not a sucker for love. Like, how much more, can happen to him?
Well, she a little lollipop herself.
I'm not saying she is. I'm saying you're talking about emotional with the women and everything. I'm showing you can see Ghost and Tommy's underbellies too when their emotions have gotten them into trouble.
Yeah.
Because his involvement with Angie got Tommy thrown into jail.
Yep.
Tommy thrown in jail.
My whole thing about it is, Tiff, we at least giving you. You know what I'm saying? We're saying that, Ghost is there. You just jumping on and just slamming Ghost.
I mean, she's a.
What are you talking about?
You know what?
Now, didn't we give Tasha the...
Slamming Ghost though. Where is Ghost getting? I mean, what? How is she? How is?
Thank you,
We're all
Helena.
saying the same thing in regards to how the emotional side of this game does not. You can't have emotions in this game.
Thank you.
That we're talking about. Ghost and Tommy and Angie all have messed up, getting their emotions mixed up in this game.
Thank you.
There is really no one is more emotional than the other as far as the game is playing out, because all of them are really at this point in time on the equal playing field of just messing up, taking L's left and right, trying to make it in control.
And I 100% agree with that. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's keep it all on an even field.
On equal footing. I know that's your issue.
You know what? Tiffany is a Ghostbuster. Let's just put it that way. That's all she is. You know, so who you gonna call? Tiffany. She's just a ghost.
And that is BS. That's not true. Because I have rooted for Ghost. I even was mad when Angie threw Ghost in jail.
You were mad for a second.
No, I was hot.
Okay, you were hot for a second.
No, I was hot. I was hot when she threw him in jail. But the thing is, he is a sucker for love because he was right back in her face.
Yeah, he does a lot for Angie. He does a lot for nobody else.
He talks the mother of his children crazy, but he doesn't talk to Angela the same way or treat her the same way that he treats Tasha. And I know Tasha has done some things to deserve some, you know.
Was that Rick James, sucker for love?
Yeah.
I'm not the
Tina Marie.
James,
Rick James. Yeah,
okay.
Okay, well, I want to get into a little bit of you guys' predictions because it looked like in the previews, it looks like Tamika is putting the press on Angie, telling her she has 24 hours to give her some information or she going down with Ghost pretty much. So do you think Angie's going to flip or is she going to be true to Ghost or maybe she'll just give like a little something but not the full story? How do you think this is going to go down?
I don't think she's gonna flip. I think Ghost has a decision to make, as I said. I think Ghost might have to take her out. I don't know if he's gonna do it, but she gotta go.
I think she's dead. I think she's gonna get a knock at the door at her at her apartment, and you're gonna see a shot fired, and it's her on the ground because really I don't know how this plays out. Script-wise, I don't know. Is it better to have her rat out on somebody, or is it better to just take her out before she could do it? And to me, if I were writing that segment, I'd rather see her taken out before she rats on somebody because then that's a whole nother.
That's too obvious, though.
Right.
Well, but it may be obvious. Yeah. But if she rats anybody out, I mean, right now I don't see an avenue for her. She's caught between a rock and a hard place. She's either going to give up somebody, Proctor, she's going to give up Tommy to save Ghost. She's got to give up something.
Yeah.
And what could she possibly give up?
Seems like she was talking with Ghost saying, we all got to stick together. If nobody talks, then they don't really have anything on us. And that's kind of in the previews what Sax was saying. Like, if none of these four people speak, then we have nothing. So if they can all come together.
But she's a weak link.
No, the weakest link is Keisha.
If
Keisha.
you seen the way
Keisha gonna be the one to drop the ball.
Well, Keisha could be a weak link, but right now Keisha's not really involved in anything. She's not as deeply.
She's more involved. If you seen the preview for next week, when they were talking about that and they cut straight to Keisha, basically implying
she's
that
involved with Tommy. She is the weakest link. Keisha gonna be the weakest link. She's gonna make them fall.
And she knows enough.
She knows enough. And also the situation with Angie, with that preview they showed with Ghost, like she was saying something to Ghost like, is this how you want this to end? My prediction is that he kind of gonna lull her into a false sense of security. A new beginning. Yeah, he said something about a new beginning. He might do that to make her think like everything is all good. And he might take her out.
But Angie and him already have this issue with distrust. Like, I don't trust you. You don't trust me. They gonna have to work that out because everybody got to be solid in order for this to work.
Right.
I got no predictions for next week. I have none. I just want to see it play out. If I have anything to say about a prediction, I think it's Angie taking a bullet. But hey.
Oh, the other thing was what we totally missed. Did you hear Tate what he said to Ghost? He said, what was that comment about?
Oh yeah, yeah,
when they were talking-
When he said I could be far worse,
far
and
worse
you
than
should know.
Yeah,
I said he know who Ghost is, and I'm telling you, he's a kingpin.
Yeah, he kind of like, okay, Ghost, you don't know who you messing with.
Clearly,
season
yeah.
episode 10.
He
I'm
gonna show
telling you,
himself?
he gonna show himself.
I believe that I'm glad Tiffany brought that up about Tate, and that's my prediction is in episode, this last episode, the next episode, Tate is going to present himself, and some kind of way, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be the catalyst to really bring down Angela in some type of way, or is he going to be working with her some type of way? But with Angela, I don't think he's going to rat anybody out. But I do believe that at least 2 more individuals are going to get the bullet in this, because it's a super episode. And you know, somebody got to die. Tariq, you know, this time around, I'm thinking two other major people might get the bullet. I'm predicting Angie. It's probably going to go down. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Tasha gets a bullet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised somehow if Tasha takes a bullet, because I predict it's going to be a major character that goes.
I hope it's Silver, because you know he still ain't been on the scene.
I was ready to say, I
and
think
he
Silver
gonna come back with some information that could screw everybody up, and they gonna give him the bullet.
Yep, I was thinking Silver too, and it could even be Tommy.
Silver was on that subway on Twitter, wasn't he?
Yeah, 50 was trolling on Instagram, talking about, here goes Silver.
Yeah, that was some. Okay, Silver, you gotta go.
Yeah, I think Silver could definitely go. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tariq got caught up somehow and he ended up going. I mean, everybody is fair game, it seems like. And next week is an extended episode, so we're gonna have plenty to talk about. Did you have something to add to that, Reed?
Well, I mean, my prediction is like way off from all of y'all, because from what I see, you got 2 seasons left.
Right.
This next season, I feel as though Angie ain't gonna budge on any of them. Her asking for that 24 hours is all Ghost needs, and Ghost her need to go ahead and get something pulled together to pull her up out of the fire.
That's true.
Yeah.
Free is still hanging out there, so I'm thinking he's gonna get caught up in it too. Because realistically speaking, the case against Angela is real weak, and it's gonna take one of the pillars to fall. So I think this whole season is going to culminate with everything got broken apart. Now everything gets brought back together. Tommy has no reason not to trust Ghost.
Right.
Tasha, she done did the most, and she's going to have to fall in line because she's caught up now. Ghost is having to learn that, okay, I can't control everything, and without me touching anything, everything's going to happen anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Tariq is going to have to come back and be consoled. But the big thing about it is that with the Jimenez out of the picture, there has to be somebody on top. Now, my prediction for the end of the season, or the end of the series actually, is that Ghost becomes what the Jimenez are, and that Tariq takes over that middleman part with Tommy, because Ghost is going to want to make sure that Tommy is under control. So for the end of this season, we're going to see all of that starting off and all of that kicking off. With Angela being the ride or die, Tasha finally understanding her role in the situation. But the problem, I think is Keisha, and I think that Keisha's going to get it. That's it for her.
Yeah,
Keisha,
I think so.
yeah.
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that Ghost would ever bring Tariq in that close to have him as his number 2. That's a little bit of a stretch, considering how hell-bent Ghost is against
he
it.
has no choice.
And that's what that was my point. That was my point earlier.
But he wants out the game.
Well, he may want out of the game, but again, every time he takes one step out, 2 steps he's knocked back. So again, if he's going to keep his son alive, he's going to have to keep him close. And the only way he can really do that is to give him what he wants.
I don't know.
And the other thing about Ghost, I know we got to wrap it up, but the other thing about Ghost is, and I've said this since he got messed up in season 2, at this point, his window to get out is done and over with. The only way out for Ghost is up. He has to come back to the game and be as fierce as he was in season 1.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that because
No, I can't either.
all his plans to try to get out have completely crumbled. So I think he's just got to accept it that he's been exposed. Everybody know who he is and what he's involved in. He just got to stay in it.
Hey,
Even Tariq said it. Tariq said what Silva said to him. He was like, even these suits, you have these suits and you still,
Yep.
this is who I
The
am.
suits ain't going to change you just like Chode ain't going to change me.
hey, look,
Right.
look, we got Trump goes for president.
Yeah. So I think, to sum it up, I think, in my opinion, Keisha can go next week and Silver can go. They are the 2 weakest links. They can both be out of here.
Well, it's been interesting, and it's been certainly a pleasure to have the two of you on. I love your comments, and your live discussion with us are just as strong as your comments, and then we really appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Really
indeed.
do.
Always have the insightful comments, always coming with facts to back it up. So, yes, thank you guys so much for being on with us. We definitely appreciate it. And we hope you guys look forward to watching yourselves on the show.
Listening to- or at
Listening
least
to yourselves,
listening to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, and Reed, I will continue to spar with you in the comments.
Hey, I got the boxing gloves on. We gonna.
Hey, Reed, she's a pussycat, man. Just one strike, she's down. She's down.
Don't believe that,
Oh,
Reed. Don't believe that, Reed.
I haven't pulled out the haymaker. I'm telling you what. It's just like I.
Go on, my man.
Oh Lord.
Thank you, Helena. I like the way you back me up. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You welcome.
All right. Well, once again, Helena and Reed, thank you for joining us. To everybody else out there watching, please make sure that you subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Also, follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at The Spot Real Talk. And please be sure to be here next week because it's the season finale. It's a good one. And we have a lot of special things coming up for the finale. We plan to do something grand. So stick with us and make sure you subscribe and get notified because it's going to be a good one. I guess until then, it's been real and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So real.